Good afternoon, fellow YouTubers and Facebook friends. I know it's been a few days since I posted my last road trip video, and I do apologize for that. My schedule has been very hectic for a quote-unquote vacation. But anyway, here I am now. I am at the tail end of my road trip journey. Right now I'm shooting this video in a hotel in Johnson City, Tennessee. Again, Johnson City, Tennessee is where I am now. So I'm going to do the best I can to rehash my memories over the last few days. And we're going to go ahead and pick up the video of day 2. Okay, so if you haven't watched day 1 yet of my road trip, please stop this video now, go watch day 1, and then come back and watch this video. Okay? Good. So day 2 of our video, I woke up. I was supposed to wake up at 3 in the morning. I actually woke up at 2:30 naturally, because remember I told you in the last video that I left Florida. I was supposed to leave Florida at like 2:30 in the morning, but I left at like 1:30 in the morning because I was just too excited. So much adrenaline the night before. Just very hard to sleep. But anyway, so I left my Opelika, Alabama hotel room just before, by the time I got my shower, got dressed and everything, packed everything up, and filled the car with gas, which the cheapest gas on our trip was $2.54 a gallon in Opelika, Alabama, and that was Friday right before 4 in the morning. So I get to this gas station. I'm actually pretty surprised at how busy it seemed to be. There was lots of trucks and cars. Fortunately, though, the line to pay for gas with cash, which I always pay cash for my gas, because I've heard way too many horror stories of people who use their debit or credit card at the pump, and then guess what? The next day, their bank account is emptied. Yeah, skimming. So, so that's why I always pay cash for my gas, even though it is a pain in the rear sometimes, because sometimes you gotta wait like 10 minutes in line. Can you have some schmuck buying lottery tickets or cigarettes? But anyway, back to the road trip now. So I leave Opelika, however you say that town, a little before 4 in the morning. I get on, I believe it's US Highway 280, and man, whew, this day's drive I was driving from central Alabama to just south of the Nashville area, Nashville, Tennessee. And I gotta tell you, Alabama, wow, what big hills you have. I mean, these are like not little, gently rolling hills that you might find, say, in the Baltimore or Washington area. No, these are like, baby teenager mountains we're talking about. And yeah, there was a lot of roads where they actually had a, when I got on the 2-lane roads off the 4-lane 280, they actually had some areas that were so steep going up that you had a passing lane for the trucks, who really labor uphill. Now, my Honda Accord did a very good job in the mountains. It struggled a little bit getting uphill, but if I was starting to go up the hill 60 miles an hour, by the time I got to the top, I was doing 50 miles an hour. Now, in my old car, my little Suzuki, that thing, I swear, I think a golf cart has more horsepower than that Suzuki. I would take a hill, start 60 miles an hour, and by the time I get up the hill, I'm doing like 30, and pretty much everybody's passed me in the other lane. But no, the Honda Accord has done great on this trip. I'm getting anywhere from 28 to 31 miles per gallon, which is very good, considering the car's trunk is loaded. The back is loaded pretty good. The back seat is loaded pretty good, I should say. And, I have a bit of a lead foot on some of these freeways, because you get people who, look, in a perfect world, on a 70 mile per hour, on a freeway with a 70 mile per hour limit, I love to set the cruise control just a little, like at 78 to 80, and be done with it. But unfortunately, a lot of the quote unquote 2-lane rural interstates. Everybody else wants to do 78 to 80, and then you got to compete with the trucks, get around them. So yeah, I'm doing like anywhere from 75 to like 90. I mean, I'm going all over the place with my speed, but that's unfortunately the way the traffic moves. Now, the 6-lane interstates, three lanes on each side, is a little bit different, thankfully. So we drive to the northern part of Alabama, about 15 miles south of the Tennessee border. I get gas for $2.57 a gallon. Then we head into Tennessee, and I must say it's very, very hilly still in southern Tennessee. And then kind of out of the blue, you hit the suburbs of Nashville. And if you're a Dave Ramsey fan, I should tell you that Dave Ramsey, in the next couple of years, is going to be moving his headquarters from Mallory Drive in Brentwood, Tennessee, out onto interstate. I think it's going to be around I-65, like exit 61 or something, but it's going to be over a little towards Franklin. So this is going to be right off the interstate. So Friday morning, I get to the Nashville suburbs just before 9 o'clock. There's a lot of traffic on the roads. There's the residual traffic from the morning rush hour. I stop at a place called Franklin Family Fun Center, and I bowl. And I can do some bowling. They have a special Fridays before 10. It's like $2.79 a game plus shoes. I think the bill with the shoes was like, I played 3 games. You figure plus tax. I think it's like $3 for shoe rental or something. The bill was $13.80, and I gave the cashier $14, and he gave me the dollar back and said, don't worry about the change. Like, hey, wow, thanks. It's like, hey, that good Tennessee Southern hospitality there. Then I drive up to the the main shopping area there in Brentwood. And they have all the big box stores, your Walmart, your Old Navy, your Best Buy, all of those different kind of stores. The one I was interested in was the Lifeway Christian bookstore, which you go in this store, and this store is huge. I think it was just about the size of the one in Myrtle Beach, which I think is the largest. This is probably tied for the largest in the whole chain, because I went to the one in Wilmington, North Carolina a few times, but that store was peanuts to what the Lifeway in this one here in Brentwood, Tennessee, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina are. Just a massive selection of books, CDs, DVDs, and just a lot of, Christian, decor, crosses and Bible verses on plaques. Just a wonderful place. I didn't buy anything, to be honest with you, but just a nice place to kill some time, to look around and get some ideas of what you want to buy and see if you can buy it a little bit cheaper on Amazon. By the way, please don't tell Lifeway I said that last. Okay? Our little secret. Then we head over and I have lunch. And I'm going to say right now that the next couple of minutes, if your parents and you have small children around, or youth, or if your ears are a little sensitive to certain innuendos, then please fast forward by about 2 or 3 minutes, because I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. But to me, it's the absolute truth. So I go and I have lunch. And I go have lunch at the Cheesecake Factory. And by the way, this is my very first time in 32 years on this earth that I've ever had a meal at Cheesecake Factory. And I've seen people and friends on Facebook say, oh my gosh, Cheesecake Factory is the best. You got to try Cheesecake Factory, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, fine. Let's see what the hype is all about. I come in, and of course I get my Diet Coke, and they ask me for an appetizer, okay? And I look at the menu, and of course one of my absolute favorite foods in the world is pot stickers, a.k.a. fried dumplings. The dumplings, and they wrap them around pork and everything, and maybe sometimes put cabbage and just a little bit of onion. I don't really like onions, but just enough to, for flavor, I guess. I get these, okay, and they have a little nice coating of soy sauce on them, okay. So I get the dumplings, I have a bite, and I was like, wow, is that good or what? So full of flavor. It makes like any dumplings I've had before, except for chopsticks in Wilmington, North Carolina. Those are by far the best dumplings you'll ever have. Besides chopsticks, these dumplings were the best. Okay. And then they bring the bread to my table. The bread was, wow, like some of the best bread I've ever had. They had pumpernickel, and then they had like white bread, I think. Might have been sourdough. It wasn't like your cheap Wonder or Sunbeam or one of those kind of real cheap white breads. But yeah, very good. But now, the main course. And again, I'm going to warn you. This is the kind of the R-rated part of this video. Okay, so go ahead and advance for about a minute or two, please. Okay. For lunch, I had the chicken piccata. They bring me a nice big chicken breast covered with lemon sauce and capers. Okay. And they have the angel hair pasta, which also has a little bit of lemon sauce on it. I cut the chicken. I take a little bit of angel hair pasta and put it in my mouth. And I gotta say, whew, damn, is that good or what? Not just good, I mean, like, oh, this is so flavorful. Like, all these flavors were like banging in my mouth. These flavors were like having an orgasm in my mouth. And I gotta tell you, I just wonder, could sex be as good as the chicken piccata at Cheesecake Factory? I mean, can honeymoon sex be that good? Can it possibly be as good as a chicken piccata at Cheesecake Factory? They say, Bobby, you've lost your mind. I say, it's my YouTube channel. I'll say whatever I want. Okay, now back to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Okay, so I have the meal at Cheesecake Factory. Then, right by the Cheesecake Factory is a mall called the Cool Springs Galleria. Basically, I walk around there for the next 90 minutes or so, probably. The mall was built in 1991, but it looks so brand spanking new and upscale. It was probably only renovated like 2 or 3 years ago. You'll have to check on Wikipedia when the renovation was, but yeah, this mall for 1991 looks very good. It's obviously had a renovation. And they have, in the mall, they have a lot of upscale stores there. I noticed a lot of people walking around. Most of them were white, and most of them were millennial age, somewhere between, 20 to 35-ish. I think as far as old people, I saw, like, one elderly couple the whole time I was there. I was like, and compared to where I was working in Vero Beach, wow, a lot more people like me, and hey, nothing wrong with that. But the highlight was they have the Apple store there. And I looked in the Apple store, and like there was a bunch of people in there, and they were all standing around looking at gadgets on the table. I was like, it looked like they were having arts and crafts time or something, but it did not look like a retail store. Maybe the Apple has it set up that way. Maybe it's really marketed by them. I don't know. I own an Apple iPod, but I'm a Windows PC guy when it comes to computers because Apple is just so expensive. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I walk around the mall, and me and my imaginary girlfriend Flo. I kid. I walk around the mall. Now, next part, we talk about the Dave Ramsey visit, and I've posted a couple videos on my YouTube channel already, so I'm not going to go too deep into this visit, but I get there, and yeah, the receptionist was so freaking cute. Wow. She wore glasses like me, but she was just like, which is fine. I like girl wears glasses. Okay, makes her look studious, smart, but very sexy too. The perfect combination of sexiness and smartness. Anyway, so then I asked her if, because what happened was, I had booked, said that I was going to come on June 1st, Friday. Okay. This was back first week of April. I emailed, it might have been the same lady, receptionist. And she said, oh, good, yeah, Dave's going to be here on June 1st. And that's it. Okay. 2 weeks and then it got to middle of May. I get an email back saying, Mr. Crawford, we regret to inform you, Dave Ramsey will not be in the studio that day. However, you can still come and visit the studio, see the bookstore. So we go in, we asked the receptionist if they're still doing the office tour, and she said that the lady who usually does the office tours on Fridays is not there. Like, okay, that's fine. Well, I still had a great time. Went to the Martha's place, where I guess it couldn't have been Dave's mother, because the lady that was working there was like my mom's age, way too young. Dave is like a year older than my mom, so yeah, had to be somebody else working there besides Martha. But basically what they have is they have bottled water, they have coffee, free cookies, and just they have a lot of tables and chairs. You kind of sit down and relax. And in the background, I got there I got there like 1:30 Central Time. So the first hour was a repeat, Best of Dave Ramsey. Second hour, though, they had Ken Coleman and some guy named Anthony. I don't know his last name. But Ken Coleman's a guy who I really like a lot. Even more than Dave, because Dave kind of handles the broad money and career stuff. Ken specifically handles careers, and me, I'm hoping to someday soon get out of being a cashier and go into more of a business administration, public administration thing where I'm, more working towards in politics or city government kind of thing. So we do that. We go outside. I see that behind the building, right now they're like a 5-story building, probably the biggest building in Brentwood. But then behind there, they have like an old little strip mallish place where they have like offices for their education division, some other offices there too in the back. So now we go, and after that, of course, I'm pretty tired. I get we fight traffic, stop and get a bag of ice, because the hotel that I staying at that night does not have a ice machine. This is being the extended stay hotel. Let me tell you something. Hotels in Nashville, if you haven't looked already, the prices will just blow your mind. It is ridiculously expensive in Nashville. I think Nashville has become the New York City of the Mid-South. It's ridiculous. I mean, Orlando, I get a hotel in Orlando. Heck, I could maybe get 2 hotel rooms in Orlando for the price of 1 in Nashville. That's how ridiculously expensive Nashville is. Yeah. So I get the bag of ice because I had to fight some traffic congestion. There's traffic congestion even 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday, believe it or not. It's part of Nashville. It's ridiculous. But then I check in the hotel room. I get my Chili's to go, which is on a gift card sale from Dollar General. They say the food will be ready at 4:40. I come in there about 4:45, still not ready. Got to wait 10 minutes. Like, come on, get with the program, y'all. I eat my food. I watch Jeopardy and the news, and then I go to sleep. And then I get up. I'm supposed to get up at 3 o'clock. I'm once again get up at 2:30 in the morning. We're on day 3 now. Okay? Excuse me for a minute. Water break. Day 3. 3 and 4 are probably, well, 5. Yeah, I don't know. This is more of the climax of my trip, I should say. Get up, and we make our next gas stop right before the Kentucky border, and I paid $2.61 a gallon. It was $2.64 a gallon on the sign, but apparently, again, Southern hospitality of Tennessee, they gave me a 3-cent discount for paying cash. I was like, hey, excellent. $2.61 a gallon for gas. So I make my way up into Kentucky, and I get on this Bluegrass Parkway, which I-65, I'll tell you, is mostly 6 lanes throughout Kentucky, which is a beautiful thing. I-75 is 2 for the most part. There's a section between Corbin and Brea, which is not 6 lanes yet, but it should be soon for the next 3 to 5 years. So anyway, I get off I-65 and I go on to the Bluegrass Parkway. And I start getting some really big hills, and the thing I notice is that there's fog in the area, and the fog gets so thick I have to go from going like 80 down to 55, 60. Of course, I have my lights on the whole time, but I see, I'm like the only person on the road who has my lights on. Nobody else here doesn't. I'm like, goodness, these people are horrible drivers. Like, Florida's the worst, but Kentucky's right up there. And Alabama, I gotta tell you, they're pretty bad too. Anyway, I start getting sleepy. Next exit, I pull off. There's a bunch of restaurants, but I was like, I need to find a big place to park. Well, sure enough, I see a Walmart up ahead. I pull into the parking lot, towards the back of the parking lot. I turn the car off. It's cool enough where I don't have to turn the AC on, so it's like turn the car off. Rest my eyes for about 10 minutes. Go into the Walmart. It's like 2 or 3 people stay at the entrance, and they don't say hi to me. I was like, this is Kentucky, right? Wow. I guess Kentucky is different than Tennessee. People just aren't nice here for some reason. Anyway, I go use the bathroom, okay? I come back. I decide to take another nap. And then about 10 minutes later, I come back in and I'm like ready to hit the road. But first I need a banana and Diet Mountain Dew. So I go back in there again. Same people are standing there, never said hi to me. I was like, wow. And I could have really made life difficult for them. But I was like, I'm on vacation. I want to stay cool. I work for Walmart too. But I ain't going to say anything. But let's just say that the Walmart Supercenter in Bairdstown, Kentucky. If you're ever there and they don't say hi to you, you make sure you tell them that Bobby Crawford told you that he works at Walmart, and y'all need to stay hi to people. Okay, be friendly with your customers. Thank you very much. So from there, I go to Frankfort, and to the state capital of Kentucky, and take a bunch of pictures. And then I go up to this place called Funky Town, which is funky or punky, I don't know how to say it. Punkyville. Okay? Funkyville, Funkyville. Is this place where they have, a train and a bunch of other little buildings. Looks like an old little village from like the 1930s or 40s. And a lot of antique cars. I could have spent more time there, but I was pressing because I wanted to see some Rain Man locations, and it was already like 10:30. I wanted to get to Pompilio's, the Italian place, soon. So after that, we go up to see, what's it called? Walbrook. The location that was Walbrook in Rain Man. Okay, it's actually called St. Anne's Convent. St. Anne's Convent. It's a Catholic, I think it's a Catholic school or some sort of Catholic ministry building. And that is located in Melbourne, Kentucky. And I will say, though, I saw this location on another couple of YouTube channels, and I'm glad I did, because what happened was about 10 years ago they had to take all those tall trees that you see in the Rain Man movie, they had to trim them, take them down because there was a disease going on. So the trees in the pictures I took, they look a lot smaller than the ones that you see in the Rain Man movie. But of course, you can see the nice long driveway, and the main building looks the same as it did in 1988 when the movie came out. So after that, we went to a place called Pompilio's Italian restaurant, which was a place where Rain Man and Tom Cruise went to, Charlie Babbitt, I should say, had pancakes. Of course, they had the payphone still there, and the Rain Man room, which is this room of memorabilia from the movie, and really, really cool. So it's really neat how they've kept it very, 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 very similar to what it looked like 30 years ago in the movie. Pompilio's, very good Italian food. I mean, some of the best that I've ever had, to be honest with you. I got the meat ravioli and a tomato vodka sauce. And they actually had real tomato, chunks of tomato on top of the ravioli and the sauce. It's very good. Very good. After that, where did I go after that? It was off to Indiana. On the way to Indiana, I was on I-275 West, getting ready to head over the Ohio River to Indiana, and there was like this forest, these trees, and and popping out of these trees were huge power lines, like a power line forest. It was so neat. I wish I could have taken a picture of it, but I was driving, and I'm not really big on pulling to the side of the road for that sort of stuff. But yeah. So then we went to Indiana. The reason why is because there's a film location called I forget what it's called, some hotel they stay at, because after Cincinnati they leave, they stay at a hotel. This one where they're stranded for a day or two. Tom Cruise says, "We never go out when it rains," because Rain Man doesn't like going out in the car when it rains, apparently. That's when they had the whole fish sticks, and I only have 3 fish sticks. We usually get 6, Rain Man says. And, Tom Cruise chops the fish sticks. Indiana, I gotta tell you, Kentucky, along with Alabama, huge hills, and Cincinnati as a whole, wow, a lot more hilly than I thought it'd be. And I took a wrong turn before I went to Pompilio's, and I was able to get to a turnaround in an apartment complex. I turned around, and there's the city of Cincinnati sitting way down the bottom of the hill. Huge, steep hill. I take a picture of it. Very nice. Indiana was also, for the first probably 30 miles or so, I was in the state. It was very hilly. And then all of a sudden, you flip a switch, basically, and it's flat. Like in the farmland and terrain, looks like you're on the eastern shore of Maryland. It's like really neat. I will say gas prices. Indiana has very high gas prices. They're like $2.95 to $3.05 a gallon. The Kentucky suburbs, just south of Cincinnati, also right around $3 a gallon. But I paid, the next time I filled up for gas Sunday morning in Cincinnati was $2.71 a gallon. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now I get back to my hotel room there. And I decided to get pizza from this place called La Rosa's, which is a Cincinnati-based company. They've been around for about 60 years. Basically, they put provolone instead of mozzarella on their pizza, and it makes it a bit more tangy, a bit more flavorful, I think. I get mine with extra sauce. The sauce is a little bit sweet and tart, but still very tasty. Sunday morning. Now this is day 4. I get up, and I go to probably my favorite place on the whole entire trip. It's called Jungle Gyms International Market. They have 2 locations. Don't go to the one in Eastgate, okay? Don't go to that one. That's the one that's been open for like 4 years, but it's a lot smaller than the original in Fairfield, Ohio, right outside of Hamilton, Ohio, in North Cincinnati. Do not go to the one in East Cincinnati. Go to the one in North Cincinnati. I gotta tell you, when I go grocery shopping, I'm usually in and out of the store within 10 to 15 minutes. You know how much time I spent at Jungle Gyms? Almost 2 hours. About an hour, 45 minutes, yeah. This store, you go in and it's like 300,000 square foot. It's like 3 times the size of your average Walmart. Huge. I go in, of course, they have this little talking. A lot of the things they have these little characters. You press the button and they'll say some stuff like, "Hi, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to Jungle Gyms." First one I hit was a corn cob. That's pretty cool. And I walk. And Jungle Gyms, they sell groceries, but they also sell health and beauty aids. I was walking towards that section. They sell toys. And then I get to the pet food section. I was trying to find some sort of neat pet food, but I didn't find any really thing there. They have the health food section. Then I get to the really fun part of the store where they actually have different, like, they have an aisle for every main country. They have a little section for Holland, for France, or Spain. And then I get to this little movie theater. Yeah, movie theater in a grocery store, right? Awesome. It's called The Story of Jungle Gyms. It's about a 15-minute movie, and they repeat it all throughout the day. They're open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., and by the way, free admission, free park, okay? And keep in mind, I was here for like 2 hours, okay, and didn't buy anything. So this is like one of the coolest free things you could ever do is go to Jungle Gyms in Fairfield, Ohio. And let's see, they had a fire truck of hot sauce. They even had adult-oriented hot sauce. Oh my gosh, it was so great. Okay. They had Pedro, the cowboy. Unfortunately, he's broken right now. I wish he'd be alive, but he's one of those talking animatronic things. They had Elvis talking to Elvis. They had a talking cereal box band. Bathrooms. They've been rated some of the best bathrooms in America. What happens is you walk into an outhouse, and then all of a sudden you're in this like African safari resort place for a bathroom. It's awesome. So that was Jungle Gyms. Then we head over to the American Sign Museum. This one I had to pay $15. Oh, I'm going to back up a little bit. Lunch, I had one of the most famous things in Cincinnati is their chili. And one of the famous dishes is chili spaghetti. I got mine with the chili, the shredded cheese, the spaghetti noodles, and beans. I got this at Skyline Chili. It's very good. Very quick service. Yeah, so you can sit at the bar counter, you can sit at a table. I decided I'm going to break tradition, sit at the bar counter, and so we'll sit in and out there within 30 minutes. So then I get to the American Sign Museum. This place had to pay $15 for admission. And it wasn't worth $15 because the museum was pretty small. It was like half the size of Walmart, maybe a quarter size of Walmart. Not very big. They basically have one huge room of signs. They have a little Main Street area, Howard Johnson sign, McDonald's old sign, and I hope they do more with the museum, like maybe have more things about roadside culture before the interstate highway system was built, and that sort of thing. Have some movie clips from, there's this show I've been wishing the History Channel would put on their streaming service called History Vault, called Highway Hangouts. And it's this, they do 3 2-hour specials over the course of like 5 years about roadside attractions, before the interstate highway system came in the 1960s and stuff. I wish they would have had something like that at this place. But it's been open for about 6 years now, and hopefully the admission price is a little pricey, $15. And I was trying to take the tour. You get headphones, you plug them into your smartphone, you get audio tour, and this place, they don't waste space, and they have signs everywhere. One time, like, I had this guy's like, "Excuse me, I need to take a picture of the sign." I'm like, I'm standing there trying to take the tour. Yeah, they need to have more sitting areas for people who don't want to rush through the museum, like that knucklehead who said, "Hey, I want to get a picture of that sign." Anyway, so excuse me. Next on our list is decide to, what do I want to do? Oh yeah. I decide to, I'm going to go on the Purple People Bridge. It's a pedestrian bridge that goes across Cincinnati. Ultimately ended up at the one next to it because there's two festivals going on. On one side of the river, you had like a music festival called the Bunbury Music Festival. Bunbury? Bunbury. That's a little gag I do sometimes. And then on the other, you have like a march for pro-lifers. Great thing, by the way. But, yeah. I saw that all the free parking was gone, so I went to this place called Newport on the Levee, which is like a harbor place in Baltimore, sort of thing, a shopping restaurant. They had a bowling alley, a couple other little arcade things. I had to pay $3 for parking, but it's like, whatever. Never been to Cincinnati before. I want to check it out, the city. I walk across the bridge right next to the Purple People Bridge. I thought it was the John Roebling Bridge, but the John Roebling Bridge is the one that's over to the west of where I was still. But still, I walked across this bridge, and I saw the Cincinnati Reds Stadium, the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium. It's really cool. Took lots of pictures. Going back wasn't hassle. I get out of the parking garage just after taking for about an hour trying to find my parking spot because silly me, I forgot to write down where it was. I won't do that again. So I get out of the parking garage. All of a sudden, there's a line of cars, like 20 cars deep, and I can't go anywhere else. So I had to stay in this line for like 30 minutes. And lo and behold, it's the pro-life run going by. And this was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now look, I know Cincinnati has some harsh winters, okay? But still, in the summertime, could you like move the race to like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning? Okay, I mean really. So I was watching the news night before. I think it was the ABC affiliate there in Cincinnati, Channel 9. They should have announced something. Say there's going to be a pro-lifers race around 2 o'clock. We expect a lot of traffic congestion in the Newport and Levee area. Never heard anything about it. So big failure by the city of Cincinnati. And also Channel 9 News in Cincinnati for not saying anything about the traffic impact of this event. I mean, yeah, I was only tired for like 30 minutes, but still, I was getting tired and I was ready to go back to the hotel. But first I want to go see John Roebling Bridge. I tried to turn right, and the police officer said I couldn't do that. So like, fine, whatever. I'll take the interstate out of here and went around the east side of Cincinnati. Took another 45 minutes wasted for my trip, but oh well. I still had a fun day. Had Olive Garden for dinner. Another gift card deal. So that was Sunday. Monday, I fell asleep probably about 7:30 at night. And I was supposed to get up at 4 in the morning and be in like Georgetown, Kentucky by about 5:30, 6 o'clock and study at McDonald's for a little while using their Wi-Fi, and then go on the Toyota factory tour, which is basically where they make the Toyota Camry in America. Get to see a tour of that. But my alarm rang at 4 in the morning, and I was like, no, I'm sleeping in this morning. And by golly, I slept in to about 8:30. Got on the road by about 10. Okay. I went over the Roebling Bridge, which is in the movie Rain Man. If I wasn't in such a hurry, I would have stopped and found the little walking bridge there and took some pictures right of the road one. But I took some pictures of the road one bridge from the day before, though. So then after that, it's on the Lexington. Okay. And I got to tell you, driving around Lexington, I know they got traffic problems there, but wow. It's definitely like a Wilmington, except it's inland Wilmington. Because you got your University of Kentucky, you got your big college like Wilmington does, and a lot of overdevelopment and sprawl, and an outdated beltway there, and yeah. I was like, okay, I'm not going to spend all day here in Lexington. No, thanks. Traffic is already bad enough at, lunchtime. I don't want to know what's going to be at rush hour. This is on a Monday in the summertime. I mean, really. Lexington, by the way, needs some jobs. So Matt Bevin, please, Governor of Kentucky, I like you a lot, my man, but get some jobs to Lexington so people can go to work and not hold up traffic on a Monday, please. So in Lexington, I have lunch at this place called Ramsey's Diner. It's no relation to Dave Ramsey, okay? And I have the hot brown sandwich. First time I ever had a hot brown, and it was delicious. Not quite as good as Pompilio's or Cheesecake Factory, but still very good. Okay. A hot brown. Basically, it's toasted white bread with turkey, ham, and bacon, and they pour like an Alfredo sauce over it, and they put some cheddar cheese on it and a tomato, and oh yeah, it's so good. And then I go into their little country store, but there's a lot of overpriced jams and jellies, that sort of thing. And I'm just like, nah, not going to buy anything here. No thanks. The next place I go is mini golfing. You take some more water. Well, we've been talking for 42 minutes. Yeah, your throat gets a little dry. Mini golf. Let me back up a little bit. I forgot something. In Lexington, they used to have a pharmacy, and the pharmacy was in this this building shaped like it's a big white cylinder, like an RX cup thingy. Of course, they have the little Red Bull on top. But now the pharmacy, they've changed into like a liquor store, so it looks like a cocktail now with the red cherry on top. It's pretty neat. Mini golf went to this place at the Lexington Ice Center. It's called Biblical Mini Golf. Now they have 3 courses, and you can play 1 course for $5.95, 2 courses for $8.95, or you can play all 3 or as many times you want one day for $9.95. I decided to do $9.95. The golf course, though, was unfortunately it's fallen into some disrepair. I saw this on. It was a documentary on HBO. I don't know what it was, but something about God in America. And they went to this biblical mini golf course in Lexington, Kentucky, and everything looked very good, well kept. But now it's been about 10 years since they filmed that documentary, and everything looks pretty crappy looking. I saw they were trying to maintain it when I was there, but they had bags of mulch everywhere, and I'm just like, the course is open every day for just 3 months out of the year. What the heck are these people doing the other 9 months out of the year? I mean, but I'll tell you though, it was a good bargain for. I mean, this was like a little over $3 a round for mini golf. I mean, you go to Myrtle Beach or some of these places, yeah, the courses are a lot nicer, but you're going to pay like $10 a round for golf at least. And I tried to play. They have Old Testament, New Testament, Miracles. I wanted to go in order, but I tried to go in the Old Testament, and the lady's like, "Sorry, this course is closed." So I was like, "All right." I was kind of mad at first. I was like, "I came all the way from Florida. Y'all, 9 months out of the year when this course is closed. You need." I didn't say this to her, but that's what I was thinking. 9 months out of the year, this course is closed. You just need to do that crap, this maintenance stuff. Then, you know. So after 2 courses, I go and I see the guy. He's probably high schooler age. I tell him, "Look, can I get my money? I only played 2 courses. Can I get my money back for not playing a third?" And I told him that I didn't know the third course was closed, because if it wasn't, we'd only done 2. And he was like, "Well, yeah, actually that course is open. It's just they're laying wet cement on the Noah's Ark portion of the course." It's like, okay, well, if it's all right with y'all like to play that one, and I'll just avoid the Noah's Ark. Well, when I did, everything worked out fine. I will tell you though, this if you don't have a good GPS or you're not very good with Google Maps, you'll never find this mini golf place. It is like it dropped from Mars into a residential neighborhood. It is on it's on one of those little quiet little streets. You think of most mini golf places are on a busy 4-6 lane boulevard, but no, this one's on a quiet 2-lane street in the middle of the housing neighborhood. It's like, wow. Okay. After that, we head out of Lexington, thank God, to Richmond. And Richmond, Kentucky, I should say, not Richmond, Virginia. Ooh, no. And went to a much nicer mini golf course. This one was built back in 2005. The biblical mini golf is probably built in the 70s, I think. And yeah, it shows. It's a lot nicer. It's a lot more well maintained. It was $5 for 1 round, or you can even pay $5 for the whole day. Owned by the city of Richmond, Kentucky. Very nice. Lots of water hazards. Lots of tough holes. Great, great course. And then we have dinner at this restaurant right by the hotel called Smokehouse Grilled Buffet. And I gotta tell you, for a buffet, the food was pretty good, but they'd have maybe 10 hot things on the buffet, and that was it. You go to Golden Crown, it's like at least 50 hot things. This place had like 10 hot things. They had fried chicken, they had meatloaf, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes gravy, corn, green beans, dinner roll, and they had like blackberry cobbler and ice cream. That was about it. So good food, but I need a little better selection. Smokehouse. Okay. So then we get back to the old hotel for the night, and then we come to today. Today we get up, and we're out of the hotel. We're on the road again by about 10. I go down I-75, and then I realize that it goes from 6 to 4 lanes, and they're doing road construction. So I was like, where all these trucks come from? There were hardly any trucks when it was 3 lanes. Now it's down to 2 lanes. I was like, wow. So I get off the next exit. I take the scenic route. US 25, a 2-lane road, and go over some hills for the last time, and some real pretty scenery. And so I get to Corbin, Kentucky, and Corbin, Kentucky, I go and I see the very first KFC. I go in there, and there's a really nice museum. It shows you the first kitchen, the first dining room, the layout of the original KFC, when they had the hotel next to it, and how it used to be a real happening place before I-75 was built, like in the 60s. And yeah, really cool place to stop. And the food was very good too. I got the chicken tender $5 meal, and I added a side of mac and cheese for an extra $1. Oh yeah, the people sitting next to me. By the way, it's happened twice today. I know I was in God's country, the Bible Belt, but I actually witnessed people saying grace. Yeah, I mean, in Florida, I don't think I've ever seen that. You know, but in Kentucky, and then here in Johnson City, Tennessee, at a Chinese buffet place, again, people saying grace. It's like, hallelujah, praise the Lord. This is awesome. Means that, yeah, there are some Christians still in America. Yes, that's a very good thing. I will tell you, let's see, gas prices. I paid $2.71 in Cincinnati, and then I paid, what did I pay? Oh yeah, today I paid only $2.55 in Corbin, Kentucky. I mean, I've been here in Johnson City, Tennessee, and it should be a little bit cheaper, but it's actually cheaper in Corbin, Kentucky right now for gas prices. And one thing I have to say is speed limits. Unless you're on the interstate, unless you're on the interstate, I think pretty much you can only go up to 55 on a rural 4-lane divided road. Because I went from Corbin, Kentucky, I took US 25 over to US 11. It's 55 the whole way, when it really should be 65. There may be a couple curvy sections in there that can be 55, but it should be at least 65 or higher, I think. Well, tomorrow I don't have to check out until noon, and which is good because I'm only 2 hours from Hickory. Okay, and it says 2 hours. Probably get there hour and a half, hour 45. But if I leave here and I drive to Hickory, then maybe do Golden Corral for lunch. Because I haven't done Golden Corral in a long time. I'm due. Anyway, I am the Conservative Pelican. I hope you enjoy watching this video. If anything interesting happens, I might do another video on my road trip, but this will probably be the last one. So we'll see.